Hello everyone, welcome to this podcast. I'm Malvika and I'm very excited today to welcome Ms. Vandana Mahajan, CEO and founder of Futures Abroad. She's been a partner to us and she's been a part of the TETR journey and very supportive along the way. We also have with us 6 students from the TETR cohort of 2028, and today I'm here to welcome her to join us and lead this conversation as we explore some interesting facets, insights of the TETR journey with these students in the time that they've spent at TETR so far. So welcome, Vandana.
Thanks, Malvika. It is my pleasure to be here and to meet our students who are our first batch of TETR students here in Dubai. So hi everyone. We'll start with a brief introduction by all of you, and please tell us, what has life been for you guys at TETR?
First of all, I want to say thank you for having me. I'm Joy Paul Ramirez. I'm from the Philippines. So mabuhay. Life at TETR has been so overwhelming. You know, getting to experience life in Dubai, meeting new people, and learning that we have our own perspective, we have our own opinions in stuff like this. It just makes me love studying more, and I'm so very happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you for having me as well. I'm Venice, I'm from Berlin, Germany, and life at TETR has been everything. Like, we have been doing classes from early mornings till evenings, but it hasn't felt like work, it felt like passion and love for what we do, so time was flying by, and that's the best thing ever.
Hi, I'm Daniel Richardson. I'm from Texas in the US currently. Life at TETR has been absolutely amazing so far. I've gotten to meet such incredible people and broaden my horizons so far in the short length of time that I've been here. It's been incredible.
Okay, so my name is Song and I'm from South Korea. And yeah, I think Dubai itself is a very a vibe, like where you are immersed with this type of like entrepreneurship and a lot of momentum. But one thing that I was really surprised was that when you turn the tap water to the coldest, it is not cold at all. It is so hot. I'm like, every time I go to a shower, I'm like, I need to embrace myself. So yeah, that's an experience for sure.
Yeah, hi everyone, my name is Dua Zafar. I am from Karachi, Pakistan, but I was actually raised over here in Dubai, so Dubai has been treating me well, of course. TETR, the thing about TETR is like every single day is not the same as each other, even though there's a routine, even though you have to wake up at 6 and then you come back 12 hours later back to your dorm or whatever it is. Like, it's not the same, so every day is so different, and that's what I love about it, the spontaneity, but at the same time, the consistency that comes with it. It's a fine balance of both.
Well, hi everyone, I'm Rushan, I'm from Mumbai, India, and life at TETR has been no less than adventurous. I think TETR is all about community and the network of people that you're around. So getting up every single day and meeting new people, and just being around everyone just is so energetic. And as you do rightly mentioned, no day is same. So trying to find the balance, and it sometimes gets overwhelming, but so far so good.
That's amazing, and so glad to be here with students from 6 different countries, learning a very unique curriculum, starting from Dubai, a cultural hub. So my first question is to Daniel. How's the curriculum designed in your first semester? Please elaborate a little bit on that.
So the curriculum here at TETR Leads for the first semester has been very, very intense. Like, we've been taking classes all day, every day, but the classes have not necessarily felt like classes as much. It's been a lot of very interesting and very important topics we've learned. We've been able to cover stuff as vast as from, the importance of LinkedIn and how to network to finance classes. Currently we're taking a few different classes. We're taking a class on networking. We're also taking classes on finance, as mentioned earlier, as well as we're taking classes on how to unlearn. So how to change our mindset from the traditional educational mindset into a mindset of being open to new experience and being willing to learn from the world around you and reinvigorate that childlike wonder and excitement.
That's great, and you spoke about experience, right? Can all of you please share your experience of joining any particular clubs that has impacted your social or academic learning here at TETR? Anyone wants to start?
Okay, I go on. So I joined the volleyball club, and I really love playing volleyball. Philippines is a volleyball country, so learning that there's also students who loves playing volleyball, who wants to learn playing volleyball, it just amazes me because we all have our own styles in playing it. We all have our own aspects in how to play great, so it's just amazing.
Well, just to add to that, I think clubs make us experience stuff that we never knew existed before, right? For example, one of our professors arranged, underwater hockey. I never knew underwater hockey was even a sport. So definitely something pretty interesting. And, just about the clubs, they vary from, Toastmaster clubs to even volleyball, football, sports range, as well as consultation and, founders and all those kinds of clubs.
Yeah, so personally, I'm in the two clubs that I'm most interested in, even though whenever it's like, oh, there's this new club, all of them are so interesting. I'm just like, yes, join the group.
That's true.
So, but the two clubs I'm most interested in is number one, there's the Founders Club, where if you already have a pre-existing startup prior to TETR and you want resources or a community available to help you build on that startup, then the Founders Club enables that environment for you. And the second one I'm really interested in is also the Stocks and Trading Club, because usually there's this persona that, okay, yes, there's an all guys group going together and discussing stock market and whatnot, and I know nothing about it, but at the same time I know that I want to learn more, and even though if I make mistakes, I just have to know what's going on in the world in terms of stocks and trading. And I met some pretty cool people as a result of that, so I think, yeah, I'm pretty excited for both of them.
Also, what we haven't mentioned is that we actually got to create those clubs. So these clubs were not prepared from TETR. Everyone just could upload their idea and give a concept of which clubs they wanted to do. There's a dance club, there's also finance club, there's trading club. They're all different kinds of clubs with all different kinds of people who wants to join, and we could create those and form TETR somewhat with.
That's amazing, because as much as learning happens inside classroom, you learn the same or more outside of classroom, and that's what TETR is all about. So let's talk a little bit about how this TETR experience of first semester has encouraged you to engage with the local culture here in Dubai. How have you immersed with the community on the ground? And any one of you can take the question.
So I guess part of the curriculum itself for TETR is immerse ourselves in culture. Part of the curriculum, we go to different cultural immersions, like the Jai Tech or the Museum of the Future. So we get to do that through TETR itself, but also we get encouraged by TETR to go off on our own, on our days off, and go immerse ourselves in the culture.
Just to throw an example there, last Saturday we just had a half day, and maybe 10-15 of us went to explore Old Dubai, and the side where the Abra ferry is there. You got to understand how the true trade works, and seeing those big ships go around and kind of sell in local languages, negotiate, and kind of convince that you need a certain price and stuff like that. It was pretty I think new as well as enriching.
That's fantastic, because that's the real experience and the real learning. We are trying to see how people in the cultural community here in Dubai are engaging with businesses, etc. So share with me some of your unique challenges or opportunities, that you may have encountered by balancing your academic and extracurricular life here in Dubai and at TETR.
Oh, sleep. Oh, wow. Sleepless nights. But I personally really do enjoy this. I'm going to be honest. The TETR is giving us a Monday till Saturday schedule of studying. And then we're expected to do dropshipping business, and we're just expected to study at the same time, prepare for whatever projects that you're personally doing as well. And pursuing that definitely requires you to spend a lot of times. And I don't know. I think my IBEX are kind of speaking for itself, but I personally like it.
Yeah,
I like this instant push. It's
absolutely. I never thought that before the amount of stuff that I'm doing in the past, since September started. September's mid-October right now, so I never knew I could do this many things in this short period of time, and I feel like it's pushed us to do that. And in one sense, it is kind of difficult to juggle, but in the other sense, it's the entrepreneurial life is you can't. People say, oh, I want to leave my 9 to 5, but you're leaving a 9 to 5 for 24/7. So I think that's what is mentally preparing us. And although we're hanging in there. We're still, I think, like out of this, at least out of this semester or the coming semesters, we should be golden.
Yeah, I think I really do enjoy, midnight McDonald's sprees. So, I mean, it's about enjoying and having fun around with the people because you're gonna be surrounded with the same people for 4 years. I mean, make every moment count. So, yeah.
Absolutely, and make the experience count for where you are at the moment.
I wanted to add something there. Is that I think the one thing that everyone will take away from the first semester is going to be just time management and being able to figure out how they are going to operate these businesses. So, and Richard mentioned that obviously there are academic immersions, business immersions, cultural immersions. There is a whole curriculum around classes that they need to, these workshops that they need to attend. There's also the dropshipping business that they're all building, and they're 6 weeks in, many of them have revenues already. So in order to do all of that, through this experience, I think time management will become critical in terms of the skill that they pick, and it's going to hold them in good stead for the rest of the 7 terms to come.
Oh, amazing.
Build off that little bit if you don't mind. So we're being given so many opportunities. The biggest struggle is time management, trying to choose which opportunities are the best ones to pursue and having to, as much as it hurts, give up on some opportunities that just aren't quite as worthwhile for the ones that are more worthwhile. So it's a matter of just trying to pick and choose what is the best use of time, because we all have the same 24 hours in the day, so we all have to pick, and sometimes, as Song mentioned, sleep is a thing that gets thrown to the side.
But it just shows how much more capacity we actually have. It's like when you're in 3rd grade, you have math class, you're like, oh my God, this is so hard. And then you go to 6th grade, you're like, 3rd grade, that was so easy. So I feel like it just shows how much more we have in ourselves to like do even more, that we're not reached our limits yet. And I feel like
So that's good to hear that you all are learning how to manage your time. You all are learning how to push beyond your limits. That's what true entrepreneurs are. And I'm glad that TETR is doing it sooner than later, because that's what you really need to learn. Now, one thing you all almost spoke about was the drop shipping, right? So I'm curious to know, and I'm fast forwarding my conversation here a little bit. Please share your entrepreneurial projects or journey of the drop shipping that you, let's start with Song maybe.
Okay, I'm actually really excited to speak about this because I brought a product of my what we are selling, and this is a mini camera that you can carry anywhere, and I named it specifically called Moment Keeper because you can capture it, you can bring it anywhere as a keychain, and then you just pull it out and then you just take a picture and you keep that moment to yourself. The whole premise of this product was that I don't want to pull out of a phone where you're just meet with constant distractions of notifications and everything. And the quality of this camera is like VHS, like 2005, so you can actually capture these nostalgic moments as well. And I didn't really thought that I was going to be able to manage to find a product that I can truly believe in as a dropshipping, but I managed to do it, and I'm building the business around it. And it's really fun. It's us, myself, and my teammates are working on like 4 to 8 hours per day at least, and it's really nice.
Great. And anyone else would like to talk
I
about
love how you're leveraging.
Well, I mean, what do you mean?
It is hard. It's like laughing.
It's being entrepreneur.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that is the sales pitch.
At this point, he needs to be like, link in the bio, guys. Link in the bio. Like, please.
Him and his product, I was like, damn it, I should have brought this.
The drop shipping has been really useful. Like, I didn't think I'd be able to learn too much from it. And like, it's just make a small online store, but we've had to learn how to understand our market, understand who we're trying to sell to, and then how to get to them and how for them to know that we're trying to sell to them, which is something which is going to be used in every single business. So although dropshipping is only the first company we're starting through TETR, it is building blocks, like a strong foundation of marketing that we'll be able to use for each company we create each semester.
Yeah, just to add, an unnoticing side of dropshipping, I think culture plays a very important influence when we talk about dropshipping. I mean, as simple as kind of knowing your customers, their demographics is a part of culture, but also inner team dynamics, right? You're working with people from across 45 nations. So definitely, kind of balancing across each other, knowing about cultural differences, and kind of working together as a team in order to hit the same goal is something that was my takeaway, at least until now.
Yes, also from our dropshipping, we're so grateful, not just we're learning about it, but we're learning from the best. We have professors like Ishan, we have Kriti and Garima. They taught us about what to do to make the best out of it. And we're just really learning, and we're just having fun at everything, and I'm so glad that we have them.
Also, to give a little more insight, like we didn't know each other. So this was like the first week, decide your dropshipping team. We got forced into one room. We had 30 minutes, find your team. We didn't know anyone. Okay, give me a short elevator pitch of yourself. What can you do? How can you provide for the team? And then we just merged together. And then you have to make it work. That's like the big part of it. And there will be differences, but the way you have to figure it out, because you have to stick in that team. There's no way around it. So you have to make it work. And that is a challenge in itself, plus the dropshipping. It just makes it so much more intense, but also so much more worth it.
Yeah, so the concern with like that was I remember we had a class with Ishan before the 30-minute session occurred where you can pick your team. So for some reason, like I think it was written on the agenda that after this you'd have like a short meeting, like you'd have to figure out your team. So what I try to do, I try to make my team in the class so the top players don't get selected into the other team. And like that's how we chose the team dynamics. And as like I think Rushel was also mentioned, like team dynamics was such an important play because I had 2 Indian guys and 2 European women in the team, and now I'm just in the middle. So it's like really hard to get the synergy. But now that we all like, how do I say, we know each other's quirks, it's so much more easier to work along with each other. It's also important to like respect everyone's time and different cultural issues. And you know, the biggest part wasn't only like, you can learn how to set up a Shopify store, you can learn how to integrate, for example, Stripe as a payment gateway for your website, but also learning how to work with each other. Before I thought, oh, that's very easy. That's actually the most trickiest thing. But once we can come over that gap, I think that's when like the team really started to take off.
Like one thing, like not a lot of people are mentioning about is how kind of, you can call it cruel it was to having that group formation, because you have to constantly promote yourself, and you're rejected, then you have to move on.
Yeah.
And like you just have to just swallow it, and then you have to find your type of people that you can work with.
Yeah.
That was definitely a nerve-wracking thing to do.
Actually, that's the beauty about it is that we've all learned that in our careers, but by failing multiple times at real jobs, and therefore the risk of failure is very high. I think that this also makes TETR sort of like a safe space for everyone to kind of be okay with failing, because you're not really failing in the real world. You're just kind of quickly learning through the simulation of it. And you know, obviously, if someone really builds a business and it comes out well, and they're able to sort of like hone their own leadership skills through the process, it's like the best place to learn it is in a safer environment.
I agree 100%, because as an entrepreneur today, you're in the world, and if you fail, there's a failure of a lot of different facets attached to it. But here you have a platform to learn, to fail, and to grow with the failures, because I think failures bring in a lot of strength and learning altogether. So that's amazing that you're getting that experience at TETR, and right at the start of this program here. So let's talk a little bit about, you know, the learnings that have come from this, the dropshipping experience. How have your mentors helped you in this experience here at TETR?
I feel like Debesh, he was our unlearning teacher. He's such a sweet soul, by the way. The way he taught us was not only unlearning what we've learned before, like don't think inside of the box, don't be scared to say something wrong, ask the right questions, because there are no right questions. Just like be yourself, nobody will judge you if someone laughs, like that's not okay. And just like to have that trust again, to be able to say something completely wrong, like saying Berlin is the city from like, I don't know, Wyoming or something, makes it so much more trustworthy, and trust in the cohort, also as a family, just learning that again is like very special.
Yeah, absolutely. Personally, I love Professor Bhupesh and Professor Garima too. I think we've had more classes with Professor Bhupesh, and that guy, he's so funny, and he does not use presentations in his class. And if you're like, how do I say, if you have questions, you can ask him a million times, you can follow up. He put his number, him and Professor Garima, they put their numbers on the whiteboard. They're like, contact us if you need anything. So they were just like really persistent, or it's like, let us know if you need anything. And then there's Professor Divij, who's teaching us prompt engineering, AI prompt engineering. And I asked him like a question, I think, I kid you not, at least 10 times in class, same question. I think we were learning how to automate the marketing workflows. And then he was just like, it's okay, I'll teach it. Then he also provided his LinkedIn. He's like, you can connect with me if there's any concerns. So I really appreciated that.
I think just to add to that, all the professors are kind of very open, right? They're very approachable. For example, I mean, Professor Prapesh allowed us, to come and pitch our business ideas to him and, see where, his subject could help us in, right? I mean, in dropshipping, obviously we're learning about, whether the picture seems better on the left side, whether the consumer thinks about the photo, and how does, consumer psychology work. That's something that not a lot of people think about while kind of building websites, right? How is a website optimized, and how a user is thinking while going on your website. What key components you should look at when a person is thinking about buying your products. So I mean, those crux and dynamics is what I think our entire faculty and our entire curriculum is also structured around, to get the best out of a business as simple as dropshipping is what people think. Yeah.
With any industry specialist in Dubai, or have had fireside chats? If any of you would like to tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, the other day we had a fireside chat with the CFO of Dabur Group, which was so cool because we didn't know such high profile figures would be able to come on board. And I believe the chief of Dubai Tourism had also come in to inform us about the how Dubai Tourism operates, and tons of people have different questions. Considering that there are people from 44 plus
countries over here, they had tons of questions on how Dubai operates and how there's such a steep level of growth, steep incline of growth. And I think it was really amazing. Like, we didn't know we'd meet such people. And also, like, we're University of Europe, which is our campus over here in Dubai, where it's located. It's located in the One Central, which is right beside the convention center of Dubai World Trade Center. So whenever there's any convention, any expo, it's all right there. I think in this building itself, we have Berkeley Research Group and Rolls-Royce and many other companies that we can just interact with. So I think that's pretty cool.
Just one thing to add about is that the TETR, I really appreciate TETR's team that they're actively going out to LinkedIn and finding those individuals and trying to bring them into the campus. And where in the world, where in the university, there are active staff members who are actually trying to find this, talented individuals and then make them teach the students. And I really appreciate that. And you have to really know how to take the most out of it when you're interacting with them.
Exactly. So my next question flows from this. Through these interactions that you've had by these leaders in the entrepreneurial industry, how have they influenced your understanding of the civic responsibilities as budding business leaders?
Well, I think each conversation is a different lens, right? You're viewing an industry, you're viewing a perspective, right? And when you talk to someone like an industry leader, as big as, the CFO of Dabur Group who came to our campus, or someone you meet in the elevator because of the surroundings, right? Each conversation gives you a different perspective about a particular industry, right? Going to the GITEX festival or any good events that you surround around. So I think each and everything gives you a different perspective, different culture, different lens to what you already know. So it's always like building and, using Professor Devesh's techniques of unlearning and then learning something that's new. And, that's a combination that we go up. It's like,
yes, and I feel there's always take home. You always pick that one thing from each of these speakers. So now I'm going to come back to the founder of TETR, right? Tell me about your conversations with Pratham Mittal, who's the founder and the idea behind this group you're here at. What has your learning been, or what has he taught you about entrepreneurship and businesses?
Oh wow, I really love Pratham Mittal. His smile is so contagious. Like when he smiles, he really smiles too. And then also, he teaches us the steps in order to be successful, and also how to work under pressure. Like he really when we talk about dropshipping business, he's like, "Oh, I love your product. I'll buy your product." I was like, he's very helpful, Like he's very, very helpful at the same time, a happy guy, and
And also so grounded. He also talked about his, like one of his first startups. He had a website with these jackets, which are processed in India. And he took one back to his university because he was studying in the US. And he had it on and everyone was like, wow, it's such a cool jacket. Like, whoa, where did you get it from? And he just started bringing back, every time he flew back to India, bringing more of these jackets. And then he was like, okay, I could make a website out of it. I could actually like sell that product. And he started doing that and he had exactly 0 sales. And then he was like, okay, what is going on? Like it is actually working. People want my jacket, but why isn't it hitting off? And then he just noticed it's like not only how you do, but why you do it, like golden circle type of theory. And he just changed his entire website and suddenly the sales came rushing in. And it's just like, if you have a different perception of things and then you get a new view through someone else's opinion, you can just like leverage your mindset to like see like, okay, that's not working. Even though I like it that much, you have to just like change it, go out of your way and just find a way to make it work. And he's also just like a very fun person in general. He just goes karaoke singing with us, or it's just like telling us about his like life and his family, and also inviting us to Punjab to see his home city, which is like very special and emotional, I think, also for him. So he's just the best of both worlds, like business, family, and emotional and happy.
I think I would just use 3 words to describe Pratham, right? That would be energetic, passionate, and humble, right? I think being open to what students want to say is a very big part. So I remember the very first meeting with Pratham, it was so energetic. It didn't feel like I never knew him, right? It was like I already knew him, like a buddy now. So I mean, we went playing football and all of those kinds of stuff, and it just feels like you are at a place which is not really a university, an office, right? But it's more of like a community together.
I actually want to add on to a short anecdote. So like when I first got my email, like after, I think it was supposed to be the acceptance email, but I didn't get an email. I got, okay, you have a meeting scheduled with Pratham Mittal and Vinay Soni, I think, yeah, and with the professor. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what I should wear. 2 old men will be like, maybe I should wear something professional. And then like I went on call and then I was just like, is that an intern? Is that an intern? I was like, I was really expecting a guy with white hair and everything. And when I was searching Pratham Mittal, I was like, there's some young guy coming up. I don't know why that's coming up. And then I just had the call and then the chat, and I was just like, wow, I want to be like that one. After the 4 years, like I want to be like a young, successful entrepreneur who's also humble and grounded. And before, like I had my concerns like regarding TETR because it would be the first batch, and then I contacted the Masters Union alumni, and I think I don't want to mention the name, but like I contacted one of the alumni. He's like, yeah, Pratham, yeah, we talk all the time. Yeah, he's gonna get married soon. I'm like, the founder of the college, you're talking about the founder of a college that way. And I think like it's less of a staff and more like a family. I know it's as cliche as it sounds, but it does feel like a family. Everyone's asking, oh, did he eat today? Oh, did he sleep well? And everything. They're like so concerned, and I just love the energy over here.
One of the biggest things that Pratham's always trying to instill in us is to remove our fear of failure. He is always trying to, like every conversation I have with him kind of always comes down to one thing: don't be afraid to fail. You learn the most you can from failing. Failing is not a bad thing, it's a good thing. You will never succeed. It was talking about, I don't remember the exact number, saying, for every 100 companies that start, 9% of them will fail. You may throw out thousands of ideas, but only like 5 or 10 will ever actually succeed. So you never know which ideas of yours will succeed unless you actually try.
Also, he loves the 20 seconds of insane courage, where he's like, just take 20 seconds, do whatever you want. And we actually practiced that in class, and people started like going up and asking crazy questions or like screaming. And he was like, who can scream the loudest? Who is the most courage one? It was just like so much fun. And I really think about that saying a lot. And like, I was at the networking event and I saw like this group of girls standing around one guy, and I was like, okay, should I approach him? Like, there's so many people there. I was like, why shouldn't I? I'm just like, I went there and then we had the best chat ever. And like internship opportunities come in so fast if you just like go out there and put yourself out there and just try.
Okay, so that's amazing because you're learning from a visionary, which is truly special. You spoke about internships, yeah? Has any of you pursued an internship yet in Dubai? And if yes, whoever has, please share your experience. How has it been so far working in a company or a project or a research opportunity in the UAE?
Okay, so have you heard of Blue Smart? It's very popular in India, right? It's like the most successful in India. So they're trying to expand here in Dubai. So Amitaj, so grateful for him. He helps us like find opportunities with internships, and with Jessica as well. So thanks to them, we just started this Monday. So it's a marketing internship. So we help to market Blue Smart, and you know, this opportunity like gives us the learnings on what to do, how to do it, and as well as networking with other people. And that's it.
Yeah, I think I just finished with an internship today itself that was provided by TETR and Amatoj again. So we were official media partners for GITEX, interning for the marketing of the month, the technologist of the month, 2 brands. And we had all about taking interviews of reputed people, right? So from as simple of how do you create a good questionnaire to interviewing those people, managing your team, and even learning the crux of a camera, right? I mean, I just love the diverse experience that with one internship I just got to experience, coordinating with the speakers team, coordinating with the camera, coordinating what is an ISO for that matter, and understanding all of those things. And today was the last day, so yeah.
Yeah, so personally I don't call it an internship. So throughout high school I did work at like company internships for the sake of like, oh, it would look really good on the CV. But with TETR, like I just thought that you should always go bold and go new. So what I did, like I contacted there's a startup community over here in Dubai, and I contacted the co-founder of that, and I just like had a conversation, and I was like, you know what, I want to work for you guys, and I pushed myself too. They're like, okay, cool. So I was like, but I have a catch. Whatever it is, I don't mind hard work, I don't mind effort, but whatever it is, I don't want to be called an intern. And he's like, okay, cool, you can create your own title and whatever. So I think that's what I love working in a startup, because like it's so, like, how do I say, it's so honest and genuine. Like we were talking about how honest and genuine like communicating with Pratham is, or like how communicating with the staff is. So it's just like, it inspired me to like take a leap of faith and work at a startup instead. So right now what I'm doing is I'm finding founders to put through an accelerator program. And there are actually a couple of students over here at TETR also in that accelerator program, which is cool. And other than that, I would work with Malvika sometimes on different partnerships. Like this week we had the GITEX UTEX partnership. So I think that was pretty cool, yeah.
Super. So how has your social and cultural experience been, both staying in Dubai and of course doing an internship and working with companies here? Anybody would share your experience with us?
It's been incredibly vast. So, as mentioned, we are about 117 students from about 47 different countries in this cohort alone. Just being able to talk to other students alone is an incredible opportunity to experience other cultures. I've had some of the best conversations of my life just on the bus ride back to the Myriad, back to our dorms. It's been absolutely amazing hearing other people's perspectives and hearing how they're raised and how that affected their outlook on life now, and then being able to see, hey, maybe I can apply that to my life. And then beyond that, even as we mentioned earlier, we are in like the center of entrepreneurship and industry within Dubai, which is already like one of the centers of the world. So just going out and having random conversations with people near our campus or just anywhere at GITEX has been really enlightening, because there's people from all over the world here. Like Dubai is, a cultural hub. It's from everywhere. So everyone's got different cultural experiences and different cultural things to teach you, as long as you are willing and available to hear and learn from them.
What I realized is that after all of these talented individuals, like they're all humans after all. Like when you actually get to talk to them, you're just, oh yeah, like you're just bonding and you're just having fun time. And I think that really applies to like talented, like a high profile people as well. Like you just get to talk to them. You talk about the sports they enjoy or the hobbies that they do, and then they start talking. I'm like, oh my goodness, they're still as human as we are, and it's just incredible experience in my opinion.
Yeah, so directly here on campus, we have like the UE campus here, and the president of the UE Global, he's like such a kind and sweet person. His name is Maurits, and he's from the Netherlands, but he speaks German as well. And I just overheard a conversation that he was speaking German, and I'm German. So I just got talking with him, and we just understood each other so well, and he had so many insights to everything that we just continued to talk. And then we went out with some other Germans, and we had like a German breakfast in the 24 Hours Hotel, because it's like the first German pub type of vibe, and right now it's Oktoberfest, which is like a big thing in Germany. So we were all a little homesick, and we just connected through that. And now we talk like every day, and he's become a really good friend. Even though even though the age gap is like that big, because he's like, I don't know, 60 or something.
Yeah, to add on that, these taught us to be fearless. Like, we should express ourselves, go out, network with other people, and just be yourself, because eventually you will find your circle, you will find yourself with them.
Yeah. You know, you guys have been very fortunate to be a part of such great experiential learning and working in companies, interacting with some of the leaders in the industry as well. I'm sure you become more aware of the learnings, the challenges that are faced by the companies, and during your internships, your awareness about how companies work. Any of you here, if you want to share some of your experience of what is the awareness that you, or one thing that you learned has made you more aware about startups or starting a business of your own?
Team player. Oh, you have to be absolutely a team player if you want to be in a startup or running a business in general. I always, like, very naive of me. Like, I always thought, like, I can do it by myself, I can do these things. Oh my goodness, it's so not true.
Yeah.
And then you actually get to, like, interact with teammates. They are such, like a booster. Like, you can actually do things so much quicker, so much better. Like, definitely broken down and made me something again.
As a result of that mindset, like, you get scared to ask for help because, like, we're all like probably the top 1% or the top 10% of the schools that we've come from. So we had the tendency to take on a lot of burden because a lot of other people would not be able to process that. But now when everyone is like that and when everyone's a high performer, even then, like, you have to be able to ask for help, or even then you should be able to, like, take breaks in between, because that's like a lot of high performing individuals, they like probably struggle with that. So like I first, like, just only recently I started like maybe saying, hi, could you help me with this, or could you please? And everyone was so open and helpful in that regard, and like, no, don't worry, take care of whatever it is that you need. So I think, yeah, you can't do it alone. And definitely I had this, like, how do I say this, imposter syndrome that, oh, everyone's so smart over here, and like, what if, you know, I'm actually not meant to be over here or anything like that. But then if you're not surrounded by people who are smarter than you, then you're not going to grow by the end of the 4 years. So in a sense, I'm also thankful of that situation.
I think on a more philosophical end, respecting individuals. I think being in a place like Dubai has taught me that, because everyone in Dubai has their own stories, from the hala taxis to someone you probably meet at a networking event. It's, I think, all about respecting each opinion and valuing each opinion, be it in a team or just going out, you know, somewhere and talking to your cab driver. So I think it's all about that.
One of the biggest things I've learned through the business side stuff, through the dropshipping, through just the immersions we've done here at TETR, is no one has all the answers. We always think, oh, you know, the entrepreneurs, you know, this really successful business person, he knows everything, she knows everything about what they're doing. They are learning, same as us. From getting to talk to people, I've managed to kind of ingrain my mind a little bit and break the thoughts. But it's like, they don't know what they're doing. They're trying to learn as they go, and we're in the same boat. We're all kind of flailing a little bit, and we need to lean on each other. Like Dua said, lean on each other for help, because they don't know they don't know everything. We don't know everything. We need to be able to find the people who do know what we need help with, and that way we can support each other and work in a team together, because no one knows everything. Everyone needs help.
Leveraging like the strength of everyone, and I'm also like a person, I'll do it all by myself, I can do it best, and I know I've done it right and it's better than that. But like distributing like the work and seeing which strengths really pick up and do the way better job. Like I have people on my team, I could have never done things they could have done, but they also explained it to me, even though I couldn't do it, they would show me, and I would notice like I can't do anything by myself, and I don't need to do anything by myself. We can do it together, and it will be such like a better experience and better goal next result.
So Dubai is a cultural hub, yeah, and you guys have been immersed in this culture, right? And you all come from different countries, different backgrounds. Can any of you share any specific cultural exchanges or memorable moments which you've had during your time here?
Okay, so always, every night, I invited boys to do budal fight. Budal fight is a traditional where we eat with our hands, serve in the banana leaves, and then it's like a military thing. But this time, I taught TETR boys to do it. So this is a very common in the Philippines. So I just feel so happy and so nice that they get to experience what we're doing in the Philippines, and they get to explore more while living here in Dubai.
Dua, you lived in Dubai.
Yeah, I've lived over here, so I think like seeing everyone's reaction. Okay, so we had a MENA region meetup, so TETR organized meetups beforehand, before we all meet each other, because of course we were just contacting each other digitally and there was a gap in communication. So they flew in people in the MENA region to Dubai, and we were in Nas' house, and I saw everyone's reactions like, wow, Dubai, it's so hot. So many buildings, and then it's so cold inside and it's hot outside, I don't understand. And then I remember I took one of our classmates, Dennis, to Dubai Mall, and like wherever he would turn, he'd start gasping me like, oh, take a picture, and like he'd just be taking pictures of everything, and I was just like, wow, I did not realize that Dubai was like this experience for other people, and maybe if I go to their countries, they'd probably laugh at me too. Like, well, what is their reaction? And I think the different cultural exchanges, like for example, I would be talking, because like in Pakistani, of course I can understand Hindi too, I speak Urdu. I'd be talking in Urdu to some people, and then like when we had to go, for example, for dropshipping, I wanted to see if I can source, initially our products was perfumes, I wanted to see if I can source it locally. So I took me and my two other team members to Dragon Mart, and I started like taking out my Arabic accent, and I started negotiating with the Arabic perfume sellers in a bit of broken Arabic and English too, and them seeing that communication occur too. So like we reduced as a result, and them like me telling them that yes, you are like my brother and everything like that. I told them like that, and then they reduced the price by more than 50% as a result of that. But then unfortunately, logistically, we couldn't sell the perfumes because it's highly flammable. But I think that was such an experience for me. I would have never done that if it weren't for TETR. So yeah, I think that was an experience.
I think I really would second, brother, 20 dirhams only. But no, apart from jokes apart, I think I am someone who really likes languages, right? Learning bits of every language. So now my Spotify playlist is kind of filled with different language songs, some German songs, some Spanish songs, yeah. And it's all about again coming to the same point of different people across, so learning bits by bits and by everyone.
That you can't do it. You can't do anything, and like approaching like what you did at the Dragon Mart with like the perfumes, you would think like, no, I can't go there and just like ask them, like I'm crazy, I couldn't do that. Just like, yeah, you can just like go over there, take a cab, just talk to them, what's gonna happen? What's the worst thing that could happen? So taking that is like really cool.
And thinking that you'd probably never see them again.
Yeah.
I started calling people like boss. Boss?
Boss, yeah.
Boss.
Boss.
Like respect is such a common, how to say, common currency, in a sense.
Courtesy.
Yeah, courtesy. So like, calling somebody boss is just is respectful, and I like it.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing for like the culture interactions that I've had people is they don't happen when you expect them. They will happen randomly out of the blue. As I mentioned earlier, like the bus rides back to our dorms, it's had some really interesting ones with other students, but also just with other random people here in Dubai, just random conversations sparking, start learning more about their cultures and start to understand more about it, and you can learn from it. But you don't necessarily go expecting, I'm gonna go and have this conversation with this one person and learn all about their culture. It happens so randomly. You have to be willing and available to hear and learn and put yourself in a position to interact with all these different people. And that's what I really like that TETR does. It puts us in the position where we can take advantage of it and learn about all these different cultures and have all these interactions.
So have you had any interaction or experience with the Emirati culture? I know, Venice, you've traveled a long way.
Yeah, I traveled a long way. I went to the Danube, what's it called, like party of that they are building this new tower, have built this new tower which is like taller than the Burj Khalifa. It has like 120 or 102, I always mix the numbers, stories, and it's just was such a cool experience because it was basically only Emirati people looking for like new opportunities to like do like real estate things or like buy a penthouse for themselves, for example. And everyone was like so, I can't explain. It's just a different energy when you're like part of that, and everyone was just like so happy. They were singing on the stage. They were going around like do the Arabic yodeling, and it's like la, 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 la. And I was like, what's happening? What's happening? Is they were like an emergency, and then they explained it to me and made me do it as well. So it was just like really fun experience, very including, very welcoming, and yeah, just a great night.
Any cultural challenges any of you faced? You know, coming from a very different country to a very different country full of culture and, you know, different people from different nationalities around the world. And Emirati culture is very rich and very different from where you all are from. So any challenges you would like to share with us?
There's definitely been a lot of challenges with it, like trying to understand what is culture acceptable, what isn't, because you know every culture has different norms and different customs that may be frowned upon elsewhere, and so trying to find that what is okay, what isn't here. I guess we're very lucky to be in Dubai for our first semester because Dubai is a cultural hub of the world. They are a lot more welcoming, and it's the welcoming of all different cultures, and they want to encourage people to celebrate their own cultures and learn about each other. So in that regard, we are very lucky with it, but there is definitely a challenge of always second guessing, oh, should I say this? Is it culturally okay if I say or do this or go talk to this person? Will I be offending them, kind of thing? And definitely.
I think I find the entire culture very logical. I think everything has a reason behind it. And the thing that I'll take away from that one tour I had in Old Dubai would be you should never cross your legs on top of each other and sit in front of anyone, especially Emiratis, because it's considered to be disrespectful. And from now, whenever I go anywhere out or somewhere, I make sure that I'm sitting with my legs flat on the place, because it may be disrespectful to someone. So yeah.
Super. So you all have made a strategic decision of joining TETR, right? Share with me what helped you decide that yes, TETR is the right place for you. Maybe we can start from you, Rushil.
For sure. I think I like to experiment a lot, right? In the past, I've done about 67 internships across 2 years, and none of them were in the same field, right? Even I think it's all about being unconventional, which really resonated with me. Going to a traditional university, sitting in class all day, and just coming back, maybe just learning everything and just rote learning it, and then next day giving the exam and finishing it off, doesn't really resonate with me. And having the exposure that TETR provides a particular student is exactly what I was looking for. So I think the best of two worlds, being unconventional and just not focusing on traditional stuff, and being something that's related with exposure and network, was what kind of got me to TETR.
And for me, it's all about. I had a good feeling. I don't have any evidence or statistic to back it up, as I normally would like to back up anything I say with, but I just had a good feeling. I was like, do I really want to miss out on being part of the inaugural cohort of something historic? And I literally, I told you earlier, I passed my medical entrance exams that I've worked day and night for. And then I think we had the calls with Pratham, and I was like, Pratham and Tarun, of course, and then the team, and then Shahroz was also part of the admissions team. I just knew, like, wow, everyone feels like family, and why would I not want to? Like, at the end of the 4 years, let's assume that I learned absolutely nothing in class. I went to these different countries. I have a network of these many people. And on the first lecture that was conducted over here in the MENA region meetup with Miss Nargish Kamata, she said that be kind to everyone over here. You never know who's going to be the next minister in the country or the next top CEO. You never know what networks you can leverage later on. So it's just like people pay oftentimes $80,000 to go to Harvard or MIT, not only because of the branding of it, but also because of the network and the opportunities that come as a result of it. So for me, it was looking at it through that lens. What are the network and opportunities I can tap into? And as a result, I did choose TETR.
That's what a story.
For me, like it was simple. I was gonna be surrounded by the people who were willing to take a risk like me, and just surrounded by this type of people and like in an environment, I knew that like I was gonna do something, and yeah, that was it. Like honestly, TETR itself is like just surrounded by people with like risk takers. And
So a lot of it was, I don't know if you ever heard the phrase, take the 10 people you surround yourself by and combine them and that's you. So I realized that TETR, with how it is and with the such low acceptance rate that it has, they're hand-picking people from around the globe with vast experiences, all who are going to make some of themselves. Every person I've met within the TETR cohort has all been incredible people. They all have huge ambitions in life and they're pursuing those ambitions. And I want to be more like that. So I realized, like, hey, by coming here, I can surround myself by the people I want to become more like, and therefore I can grow and be more like them and learn from them. Because I said, everyone here has vastly different experiences, vastly different levels in life even, and everyone has something to teach me. As well as the networking from all the different countries I go to, or like the opportunities I've received here. Even opportunities I've received here already, in just like the 1 and a bit months we've been here, I've been beyond anything I've had up till this point in my life.
For me, it was like prior to this, I was studying fashion design management. I told you this. I was in my 6th semester and I had 7 in total. So only the bachelor's thesis I should have written to have my bachelor's of arts. And I was struggling internally that it just wasn't the right path for me. And I was like, I need something else, like universe, give me a sign. And then like my family sent over the NAS video with Pratham. And I was like, this is it. This is it, but like I'm scared because it's like not accredited yet, and like I don't know, should I do it? Is it really real? Is it like it is said or like proposed? Will it be like that? And I was like, oh, but I have only 1 semester. I was like back and forth, and then I was in London, just visiting a friend, and like on that day, there was like this meetup in London. And I was like, okay, I could give it a shot, like just go to the meetup. And Malvika, I met you there. And you know, I was like, oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? But I met like all the other students and they had already signed and they were like all so convinced and kind of, I loved everyone there. And I loved like the pitch ideas we did there and just like interacting with each other. And they felt like family. Like you said, Dua, they just like felt like family. I was like, this feels good, this feels nice. And everyone is so ambitious and so like energetic, and that's the place I want to be. But it was still like hesitant. I was actually the last one to sign the contract. So it was like a big step for me because I would also like give up that bachelor's thing. But it was internally like the best decision I've ever made. I've never felt, I'm always a happy person, but like this has leveraged it. I was like so unhappy in Germany and with what I was pursuing because I mean, it's not the last 3 years I'm like wasting, it's the next 70 years. That's how I see the world. And the next 70 years is what really matters. And I feel like this will be the happiest 70 years I could ever have.
From my perspective, TETR is a blessing. I mean, from the curriculum to the professors and to the students, right? Just imagine having a resume with 7 different countries and businesses in it, right? I mean, also, this will help us students, like-minded, business-minded students, like me, because I don't know, I'm just speechless. Everything here is just insane.
That's great. So I already know that you guys are making history. That's amazing. And you know, kudos to all of you for making this decision. And I'm already convinced that your first semester has been enriching experience for you. It's been a great learning curve. And there'll be many more, yeah? Malvika, my next question to you. We're gearing up for the next admission cycle. So kindly elaborate a little bit on how do the admissions take place? What are the parameters you guys look at? And because we have a lot of students who are interested in this.
Yeah, so we've already sort of like opened and started accepting applications. We're doing this in 3 rounds. The first round ends in, I think, around like 15th of November, and we're accepting the first round applications till then. And then there's a second round till about like mid of Jan, and then in March we should have the third round, which is the last round. We're already getting some really good applications. Online through just I think looking at the journey of the students so far. I think that's been a huge magnet to also attract similar people. I think I'd like to divide the answer into 2 parts. One in terms of what kind of people that we're looking to bring to TETR in the next cohort, and the second part is of course how they can start applying and maybe the tweaks that we made to the application process. So in terms of the kind of students that we want to bring at TETR, I think that the kind of people that we have is a reflection of the ideal TETR persona. People who are willing to be bold, they're entrepreneurial, they're open to new challenges, they want to test their limits, because otherwise it is a very rigorous course. It's not something that's very easy, but of course I think what I like something that Pratham said in his inaugural address to the class was that this is more like a gym, and you have the weights, but you have to kind of come pick them up and like make so much out of it. So there's a lot of opportunity, and so people who are ready to kind of like take this up and make the best of it. Of course, you should have graduated from your high school already. SAT, a lot of times people want to know if SAT needs to be in a certain way. Of course, there are scholarships related to very high academic achievements, but it's not the baseline. We also have scholarships for being the top 1% of your own field. There are some scholarships which are for exceptional students in sports. There are so many interesting profiles. If your story stands out in the application, chances are that you will move further. The other thing is we're looking at students who are ready to be very authentic. For all the 117 or 18 students that we have at TETR, if you talk to them, you will see how genuine they are and upfront they are about their stories. It's because authenticity was tested through our application process. And now coming to the process in itself, the first step is of course applying and filling up an application form. It has a couple of essays. There are questions that you have to answer. You have to obviously put in your academic achievements and things that you've done so far, answer a few questions. Then you move on to the second stage, which is the TETR trial, which is a 60-minute test, and we've upped the difficulty level this time. We've added a few new kind of questions, but it includes problem-solving games. It has an AI test where you have to answer a moral dilemma in about I think you get 2 minutes for it, and you answer it on the spot, and AI kind of scores that. And there are multiple facets. For example, the way that you're talking, the genuinity, the way that you look at the camera, a lot of things come into play to really understand the personality and how true and authentic someone is. And apart from that, a lot of abstract questions, logical reasoning questions, which we think will, are kind of like identifiers of future entrepreneurs and future visionaries. The third and the very important part is the interview round. In the interview round, one of our professors or our, CXOs and our, we have a huge panel of admission advisors. We have a person do a one-on-one interview. It's again a very exploratory chat. Many students are, amazed by it because they're like, we didn't have one-on-one questions, but it was more in terms of, here's a problem, how will you solve it, and then it turns into a conversation. And what we heard a lot from our current batch was that it was a way to discover ourselves. So in fact, this 3-step process, and obviously after that you receive an offer letter from us, and that's how, if you accept the offer, you're in. But the interesting thing is that even if you don't want to take admission in TETR, even if you just give the test, the 3-step process, you will discover something about yourself. It's a way for you to really understand your skills and really think hard and in person. You can't prepare for our application, you just kind of have to show up as your 100% best self on the day. So on any good day and you're feeling good and you're feeling up, just kind of, try it out. I think the one thing is that it in itself is an experience, and it teaches you a little bit about our values at TETR as well.
I think something important to add is maybe the buddy program. that they actually have a chance to speak to us. Like I'm part of the buddy program, which will launch I think pretty soon, where the people who got the apply letter, like the application letter, and are accepted are still like thinking about it or need someone personal or like in their age gap to talk to. They can just have a Zoom call with us and we'll just like answer all their questions genuinely, honestly, and maybe convince them. Maybe they see that's not it for them, but hopefully I think it will be something.
I think just to give a unique perspective, or like a student perspective to the application process that, you know, at least I went through, it's just two things, right? First, it's very unique. I mean, everyone applies on Common App, right? But having something like a unique 3-step process that actually helps you discover yourself, as well as something as simple as a gamified test, right? Who would expect that you're going to university and, you know, testing out whether you are good at a particular task by playing a game, right? But obviously there are rubrics behind it and how you're playing it and stuff like that. And the second thing would be a craft, right? I think this entire process is a craft of how, you know, you should ideally get your candidate out of it, right? Ideally find the true candidate who resonates to the TETR persona, right? And, you know, it's all about getting that outcome with the limited kind of steps that were there. So pretty amazing.
Yeah, I have a story in regards to that with the test actually. I told my family like I'm applying for this thing, and they said that if you like, you know, score well and whatnot, you'll get a full scholarship and blah blah blah. So please don't enter the room during this entrance exam. It's super important. I go and I log in, and the first thing is a rocket game. And then my dad, he enters the room very slowly. He's trying not to disturb me, but he needs to get something from the room, and he's seeing that I'm playing a rocket game. The camera's on, the audio's on. He's like, "What are you doing? You have an entrance exam right now." I'm like, "This is the entrance exam." And then my dad's like, Americans, like, it is American. Because like usually whatever we do, like he saw me through the application process of the US college cycle, and they asked like the funniest or weirdest or quirkiest questions, like you had to write an essay on. And even he was just like, in Pakistan, you just have to submit your grades and just that's it. So then, yeah, I think that was like something really cool. And then in the end, I was like trying to figure out the rocket game. I was like, oh, man, I really wish I played more games in high school. So yeah.
I guess a really cool thing that the application process is, it's just be yourself. Like that's the best advice, kind of like what you're saying, is just be your true self, because that's what the application is looking for. The application's if I'm correct, they're looking for people who are genuine, who truly love what they want to do, and they know where, and they know this is what they want to do. They know the TETR and the direction TETR is going in, and the program is, they know, hey, that's what I want to do with my life. And they genuine about it. Like for myself, I kind of applied on a whim. I found out about the application. I found out about the school way too late at night. On the last day they were accepting applications, went, hey, you know what? It doesn't hurt to apply. It's free. So I did. Kind of thought nothing happened of it, and then I had the interview. I had the test, had the interview, and the next thing I know, I'm like, I'm in Dubai now. So it's just be yourself and have fun with it. You're not. And yeah, just be yourself.
Yeah, it's the best thing you can do for yourself, because you attract what is actually meant to you, for you, and you don't waste time.
Perfect. Thank you all. It was indeed a pleasure chatting with all of you, and you are on the right journey. Today's educational journey is all about experiential learning, and TETR is giving you that. So good luck, and make the most of all the opportunities and the travels coming your way. Malvika, thanks for having me as well.
Thank you, Vandana. This was amazing. Thank you for chatting with us and bringing out such insightful questions as well. I want to thank Chojit, Venice, Richard, Song, Dua, Rushil, of course, for your candid conversation, being as open and candid and sharing your experiences. Thank you so much, Vandana, for making this happen.
Pleasure. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.